Hello, friend. So I'm excited to share with you a little bit more context on my blog post on mindfulness and the flow of life. And I've learned that these videos go below the blog as I get used to all of the technology necessary to get my message out there. So anyway, I think the biggest thing I'm looking to convey in this message is that Instagram meditation is bullshit. I say this all the time when I offer guided sessions. These things we see of people sitting on a mountaintop in Nepal with the perfect clothes and the perfect posture, that's lovely. I hope to do that someday. But most of us do not have access to that kind of environment on a daily basis. And so we have the opportunity to bring mindfulness into our lives with or without a formal practice, though I'm a huge fan of having a formal practice if that serves you. And a couple of myths I want to bust. We're not supposed to clear our minds. Dan Harris says it best in that he says, if you can clear your mind, if meditation is easy for you, you're either enlightened or you're dead. And most of us are not enlightened. And if you're watching this, you're not dead. So mindfulness is really being present in the moment without judgment, which can happen in a formal meditation practice or in your everyday activities. And it's important to recognize when we're overwhelmed and overstimulated, which is how most of us are living our lives these days, with this constant flow of information that's coming at us. Even sometimes when I go on Insight Timer, which is one of my favorite resources, I get overwhelmed. There's so many choices. There's so many guided meditations. There's so many music tracks. And that's often a sign to me that I need to just use the timer and sit in quiet reflection for 10 minutes. A little itchy there. So a few things that you might do that I detail in the post. Drink your coffee mindfully, or whatever you drink first thing in the morning. That means no phone, no reading even, just sit and be. See if you can do that for 5 minutes to allow yourself to think, to wake up, to communicate with others in your environment. I'm a huge fan of having some sort of weekend self-care ritual. So for me, that's my Saturday morning yoga. And what's important about that for me is that I go somewhere outside of my home where my responsibilities are, where my to-do list is. So it could be going to a yoga class for you, or going for a walk in a state park, or something along those lines. Now I work on Saturdays. I have a coaching client. And so I like to go through my ritual of preparing to be present for her, which includes all the typical things, but then also just a few moments of centering myself before we begin that conversation. Buying local food is an act of mindfulness, and that can be done at a regular store or by going to a farmer's market. I love on WholeFoods.com, they have a local filter so that I can find amazing local products to work into my food rotation. This supports the local economy, which is an act of mindfulness. It also supports the environment because the food has to travel less of a distance to get to you. Even the mundane tasks like folding laundry, feeling the textures of the clothing and the towels, and appreciating that you have the resources to have a closet full of clothes, that can be an act of mindfulness. And then if you do anything to end your day, like a date night, just appreciating the person who you're with. It could be your significant other or a group of friends. Appreciating the food, appreciating the wine, appreciating, if you're at a place where you're a regular, the relationships that you've built there. So meditation is a great tool for mindfulness, and it's certainly served me in my life. However, mindfulness is not just about meditation. It's about being present in those everyday moments that can often seem really mundane.